Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was created by a user named 𝒞𝒦1𝐍𝓰. It was posted in the Confessions subreddit and is titled, "My mother who left 13 years ago to be with her new BF came back and wants to reconnect. I left. My mother left me and my siblings 13 years ago to be with her boyfriend. My older sister took care of us, and for the past 13 years, she has basically been our mother. We didn't have it easy, but we managed, and eventually things started to get better. My younger siblings, twins, really missed our mother and would often ask me or our sister to bring them to her. We always told them that she didn't want us in her life and that they should forget about her, and for a long time it seemed like they did forget about her. A couple of days ago, I was home alone when I heard a knock on the door. I opened it and saw our mother with her now husband. I was shocked but asked what they wanted, and she told me that they wanted to talk to everyone. I told them that wouldn't happen and that they had to leave, to which her husband got angry and told me to show respect. We got into a bit of an argument and suddenly they just pushed me aside and walked into the house. After a while, my older sister and younger siblings came home. My younger siblings were really happy and couldn't stop hugging her. They even went as far as to say that they missed her and that they loved her. My older sister really wanted them to leave, but they didn't. After a little bit of arguing, our mother told us that she wants us back in her life and that she wants us to be a family again. My sister got angry and told them that she couldn't just come back after leaving us for so long and expect that we'd be okay with it. This led to another argument, and this time our younger siblings got involved and told both me and our sister that we were unfair and that we should forgive her since she came back. My sister just gave up and told them to do what they wanted. Our mother started asking us what we wanted to do, and my younger siblings told her that they want to be with her. When she asked me, I told her that if she came back into our lives, then I would have to leave. After another argument, I went to my room to get some clothes and other important stuff. When I came downstairs, my sister tried to stop me from leaving, but I still left. I went to my friend's place and I am still there. My sister and younger siblings have been calling and messaging me, asking me to come home and talk, but I haven't answered. I know I am a jerk for leaving, and I also know I should let my siblings do what they want, but I also don't want to be a part of it. If they really want her to be a part of their lives, then that is their choice, but I will stay gone. User Adobo6 said, "You did nothing wrong, OP. 13 years is an unimaginable amount of time to miss. I hate this husband your mom showed up with. He no doubt convinced her to leave, and she was cruel and stupid enough to listen. If possible, can you keep us updated? Best of luck and take care." User Persian Hunter said, "I bet they are here because they want to live in your house. It's not about you, it's about living space. They are about to be homeless. Ask your sister to ask for back child support for you and your siblings, and they will vanish into thin air or start to gaslight you. No one just remembers they have children after 13 years. Under this comment, another user said, "This was my thought too. Suddenly, they pop up when things get better. If you aren't with me through the struggle, you're damn sure not going to get to be with me in the good times. Someone who will abandon you once will certainly do it again when times get hard. 13 years is a long time to never check on your kids. That's your mom, and you don't wish bad for her, but there are limits to generosity." Tupac said, "I still want to see you eat, just not at my table." Also, they can leave with the show respect comments. That almost made me laugh. Don't blame your younger siblings for how they feel. You and your older sister probably did a master class in shielding them from how difficult life really was for you all. They might not fully understand the depths of your pain. About a year later, OP came back with an update. "Hello everyone, I've been wanting to post an update for a long time, but I always decided against it. Today, I decided to just do it. If you want an explanation, then please read the first post. So about a year ago, I posted about how my mother came back after being absent from my siblings and my lives. In that post, I explained that I left my younger siblings, twins, and my older sister because I didn't want anything to do with my mother. I didn't stay gone too long, and when I came back, my mother and her partner were still there. I decided to talk to them and my siblings because I wanted to know the complete truth. Apparently, she got a job on the other side of the country, paired with her falling in love with her current partner. She explained that she did love us, but that she wanted to pursue her new job. Apparently, it was her plan to get us once she felt like she could truly take care of us. us. Unfortunately, that never happened. There was more said, some good things, some bad, especially from my side because, I'll be honest, I was pissed and ready to tear her a new one. After everything was said and done, she told us she wants to come back into our lives, and surprisingly, she accepted it if we didn't want that. My younger siblings, the twins, quickly agreed to have her back in their lives, and I understand. They were 4 when she left, and they want their mother in their lives. My older sister was harder to convince, but in the end, she also was willing to try and have a relationship with her. I decided not to want her in my life. She was hurt, but accepted it. So after all of that, I decided to fully move out. I went and stayed with a friend for a few months until I finally was able to rent my own place not too far from where my siblings live. Since I got my own place, things have only gotten better for me. I got a new job that pays well, and I've been seeing someone, so yeah, things are going well. Anyway, that is the update. I thank you all for reading, and thank you all for the kind words after I made my first post. I hope you all have an amazing day or night. Thank you, and stay safe. User Captain LaRue said, "What I don't understand is how what your mother did is anything other than a very selfish, thoughtless act that is in no way excused by her simple explanation. What could she possibly impart to her children about life and principles? How could she be a positive influence on the children considering how she lived her life and how she showed her love or lack thereof?" Under this comment, OP said the following: "It is a reason I decided not to want a relationship with her. I don't think she will be a positive influence in my life. What my siblings want to do is their choice and I will accept that, but I don't want a part of it. She left us for a man and a job. While I understand her wanting to pursue her job, I also think she should have taken us with her and taken care of us. But honestly, the past is the past. And while I still feel hatred and anger, I am choosing to move past it, to move on with my life." User Sleepy Jean said, "As a mother, I absolutely cannot fathom leaving my children for any reason whatsoever. Your mother is unbelievably selfish and cruel. I'm so sorry you have had to deal with the fallout of her wrong choices. Good for you for protecting yourself and your peace. Best wishes." User Velvet Viva 49 said, "The decision to walk away from a relationship with a parent is never easy, but it sounds like you've given this a lot of thought and are making the choice that's right for you. Your mother's actions certainly raise questions about her priorities and her ability to provide a nurturing environment, perhaps overshadowed by her personal desires. It's impressive that you've decided to not allow anger to dictate your future. As for your siblings, it's clear you respect their autonomy, and that's a healthy approach. Everyone processes these situations differently, and it's important to give them space to navigate their own feelings. Moving forward without bitterness is not just a testament to your strength, but also to your character. Your journey from this point on is yours to shape, and focusing on self-growth and forging ahead is commendable. Remember, moving on doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Hopefully, your bond with your siblings provides mutual support. How have they been coping with everything? Have they expressed any feelings about your decision to distance yourself from your mother?" This next story was made in the Cheating Stories subreddit by a user named OurPainting2777. The post is titled, "My husband cheated with my son's girlfriend. My husband cheated with my son's girlfriend." So I have to tell this story because it's almost too crazy to even believe. My husband, 43, and I have been together for 20 years now, but only married for 6 years. We had hit a terrible time in our relationship 2 months into our marriage when he was arrested for substance use. I was unaware he was using. I had gone to work thinking he had the flu and came to find out it was actually drug withdrawal. He was arrested and sentenced to drug rehabilitation. He relapsed several times during his course of outpatient treatment and eventually was forced to serve a sort of in-house jail rehabilitation. During all of this, my son, 25M, was dating his 26F girlfriend. They had been together for 7 years at the time the cheating occurred. My son and the girlfriend were living at my parents' house about a mile away, while she went to college my son paid for. The entire time my son and she dated, I kept thinking at some point she was going to leave him. I just kind of felt like she wasn't all that into him. He was paying for her college because he felt like this was an investment into their future together. She graduated college with her associate's degree, and I felt at any time the bomb was going to drop that she was leaving him. At this point, my husband and I had been going through a rough time. He wasn't finishing up his stuff for the rehabilitation, he wasn't working, and I kind of felt like he was hiding something. My thoughts were he was back to using again, and I was constantly trying to find out by looking through texts and emails. One morning, I randomly get a call from my son. He says, "Mom, we need to talk." He says, "Grab your keys and meet me outside of your house. Don't wake him." I said, "Okay." At this point, I am thinking to myself, she is pregnant and my son is freaking out. What happened in the next hour would destroy my entire family. I get into the car and my son says, "Where should we go to talk privately?" I said, "Let's drive down to the locks that are about 5 minutes down the road, but a pretty secluded place to have a private chat." My son stops the car and says, "Mom, my girlfriend and my stepdad are cheating with each other." At this point, I am hearing him, but I'm not hearing him. I feel like my soul has just left my body and I'm in an alternate universe. My son had found emails from his girlfriend and my husband saying stuff like how funny it would be if they left us for each other, talking about how they would meet up every time my son and I left for work at my house to have nightly activities in my bed, how she had gotten me to braid her hair on multiple occasions just so she could come over to see him. I'm hearing all of this and my daily life was flashing before my eyes, how she would ask to come over to my house to study because my parents' house was noisy, or how she would ask if I would braid her hair for her to work the next day. I would think she was trying to bond with me for my son when in actuality she was there to make eyes at my husband and for him to do the same with her right under my nose. Needless to say, I kicked him out that day, and after 2 weeks she moved out of my parents' home and into an apartment with my husband. As of now, we are still married and filed for divorce, but our court date has not been set yet. My 15F daughter is completely crushed. She and my son's now ex-girlfriend never got along. They in fact hated each other and still do. My soon-to-be ex-husband has decided that my daughter is just better off not having him in her life because he is going back to the drugs as soon as all of his court hearings for a drug court are over. Both of my kids went through a terrible depression, and I'm still trying to figure out what in the world has just happened to my family. I am so confused by all of this. User 𝒞𝒦1𝐍𝓰43 said, "I'm really sorry to hear what you're going through. It sounds like a challenging situation. Have you considered seeking counseling for yourself and your children? I hope things improve for you and your family." Under this comment, OP said, "I have, and I even had to be put on antidepressants to help with the anxiety and multitude of emotions I have experienced. I just never have the words to describe the utter gut punch I feel every day. My kids say they feel better than I feel, but I don't know how much they are internalizing. I know I try not to show exactly how I feel much. We all have our own set of different issues from this. I feel like my daughter got the worst of the situation, so I have been trying to give her a little more extra attention. Right away, she lost her dad and one of her best friends, and then a few months later, one of her other close friends committed suicide. So she has been all over the map with her emotions. It's just been the craziest time in our lives ever." User U, according 3896, said, "I'm so sorry for what you're going through. What a horrible man, and what a horrible woman your son's ex is. None of you deserve this. I hope your daughter can overcome having a father as abusive as him. Keep her away from him. Soon you will be free of this rubbish and you will be able to rebuild your life. Thank you for retrieving this post. It was very enlightening." In OP's update, she said, "We had our pretrial for the divorce. He has agreed to everything except that he doesn't want to pay for any of the credit cards he used, even though I only asked for the one he used on a daily basis to be paid. He admitted to the adultery. He admitted to cutting the furnace wires. He will let me take back my maiden name. So the only thing we have to go to trial for is the one credit card because they don't want to pay $3,500. I am sticking to my guns on that one. Maybe those two should sell one of the 3 motorcycles they have acquired to pay the bill. As for my son, he seems to be healing well. He is in a new relationship, but since this one has destroyed the family, I'm not getting too close just yet. My daughter has been blocked by her father on everything. He claimed in court it was because he didn't want to speak to me, but I wasn't speaking to him on any of her accounts, so it is what it is. She claims to be fine, but I know it hurts her. I keep reminding her I will always be here no matter what, and that is really all I can do at this point. I did read all the comments before the moderators removed the post. Some were cruel, but I say that is fair. I was completely blindsided, and no one on here can beat me up any worse than I have myself. I'm not an avid Reddit poster, so I wasn't aware of all the rules, so that is why the post was removed. 1 more month to go, and I will officially be divorced. People have asked me if I am thinking about getting into any new relationships. At this point, I have a lot of healing to do, so we will see where I am later. So far, the ex-husband is living his best life with the 26-year-old and She seems to enjoy her newfound lifestyle of living under the radar while being a health department worker and an addict. I will post another update if I have any more tea to spill later. User 𝒞𝒦1𝐍𝓰 said, yes, definitely agree with telling her work, especially if she's in a healthcare setting. I'm so glad son is doing better and that you all are healing. User 𝒞𝒦1𝐍𝓰 said, wait until the divorce is finalized, then give her place of work a hint to check on her. You, I, and everyone know how this will end. And I hope and wish for you and your kids to be far away from it, especially your daughter. Let them be. They deserve each other. One user said, there is nastiness in some of my relatives. I had an uncle married to a lady and they divorced. The next time I saw her, she was with one of my other uncles, his brother. After they split up, she went back to the first uncle. My mom laughed and asked my dad when he was going to take his turn. He said he wouldn't take care of somebody else's dick. Needless to say, we don't associate with any of them or claim them. You know why? Trailer trash. And they wonder why we all think we're better than them. User 𝒞𝒦1𝐍𝓰 said, although you have now dodged a bullet with your ex, I think it would be okay to be petty here. I mean, you should report your son's ex. Think about it. A health professional and addict. God, think of someone who could die because of her negligence. Please report her. It would not only serve as revenge for what she did to you and your son, but also prevent trash like her from working in a sector like health. OP's final update was posted about 3 weeks from the time of this recording. Divorce court finished yesterday. I was awarded everything I asked for because it was reasonable. I had kind of hoped that after the court was over, I would feel some sort of relief, but all I have right now is grief. I thought the faster this gets done and over with, the better I would feel. I don't feel any better at all. My support system has been great. My parents have taken my daughter for the week while I grieve, so she doesn't have to see it. The daughter is in the anger stage. She is angry at everyone. She is mad at him for all of it and mad at me that I am struggling from it. Financially, I'm great. Mentally, I'm not. I feel like I have been the passenger on a ride I didn't want to take, but I couldn't get out of the vehicle and just had to watch as it crashed and burned. Everyone keeps saying it will get better from here, but for some reason afterwards it just felt worse. Someone said I was the winner in all this, but right now I don't feel like a winner at all. Guess time will tell. Thank you to everyone that commented with words of encouragement. I am grateful I was able to just get all this out of my head and just say whatever I wanted to in the moment. User Starry Dust said, you should ask yourself why you're so sad. Your ex-husband's life is a train wreck. His best years are behind him by his choice and you got those years. His new girlfriend is going to leave him when she realizes she didn't actually win a prize. She won a burden. He's decided to destroy his life and you got all the good from him you were ever going to get. Get your daughter some therapy so she can cope with her anger. You need to go too. Under this comment, OP said the following. We live in a small town. I see him drive past me every day on my drive to work headed to her home. She comes to every school function our daughter has because her little sister was my daughter's best friend before all of this, and her sister is in every school function my daughter is in. Even when my daughter picks something at random, her sister joins so the ex-girlfriend can show up in my husband's clothes and sit right in front of my daughter to taunt her. I go to the store and someone stops me to tell me how they just saw my ex-husband and my son's ex-girlfriend together. They proceeded to tell me how disgusting they are. My ex's family thinks she is the greatest thing since sliced bread because she is taking care of him, and I see them leaving from around her home all the time. They never came to our home, but they make sure they go to hers. My ex-husband's father makes posts about the ex-girlfriend on Facebook and doesn't even tell his granddaughter congratulations on her accomplishments. Maybe I could take the approach of out of sight, out of mind, but they are literally everywhere I go. I try not to leave the house on days off so I don't have to see it, but the house is a reminder too. 20 years of living together and her being here for 7 of it. Yes, he was and is a piece of crap, but I have no way to escape it. User 𝒞𝒦1𝐍𝓰 said, you are allowed to grieve. You lost a whole relationship that you thought was your forever. Go for a walk and do affirmations plus therapy. We knock walking for mental health, but it does wonders when combined. It has done great for me. Try it. Best of luck to you and your kids. User Alternative Prior said, please look after yourself, OP. Your situation has been and is traumatic. This takes quite some recovery time. Shop for a therapist you really bond with. Small, daily acts of self-care. You are incredibly strong and brave. As the saying goes, courage isn't having the strength to go on. It's going on when you don't have the strength. I wish you and your family the best and brightest of new dawns. User Dazzling Seesaw said, I am so sorry, OP. It won't end well for them. They are in it for a cheap thrill and drugs, not longevity and happiness. In the meantime, work on yourself. While your daughter isn't home, maybe treat yourself to a spa day or spend the whole week doing things you love doing. Truly, this is some heinous stuff. We could type until our fingers bleed, stating how much better off you are without that leech of a husband, but realistically, the pain has to be excruciating. He tore your family apart. It's not about you getting back into the dating life. Just work on healing. With some hobbies you love and some professional help, you can take small steps to finding your happiness again. User SuperChicken22 said, this is normal. You will get through it. So will your son and daughter, and you did the right thing to let them know how they have to live their lives. Look to the future, and I can tell you the clouds will part faster than you expect. Just don't dwell on what was or might have been. As long as you have your children, your parents, others who care about you, a roof over your head, food to eat, and a place to sleep, there is really nothing to worry about. The rest is extra that you can do without. Hang in there. Get help if you need it. Life is short. Make the most of it. User Signal Historian asked, what's happening to your ex? Does he get what he deserves? To this, OP said, he is mad he has to pay what I asked the court to make him pay. He thought he was going to walk away, get this divorce, have his happy substance addicted life with my son's ex, and not pay for anything he left behind here like credit card debt. He cut the wires on my furnace and I wanted the court to make him pay for the repairs. A deleted user said, I think you need and will need to give it time and you will be happy again. You got rid of your trash addict husband because that would have and still is going to, but not with you. Escalated. Your son got rid of his trash, gold digger girlfriend and is happy now with a new girlfriend. Do you like her? Your daughter is allowed to be angry, which probably also is grief. I wish you all the happiness in the world. Under this comment, OP said the following, I have met the new girlfriend twice. I told him the first time he brought her over that I wasn't ready to meet another girl he wanted a relationship with. It was not any fault of the new girl, but the last one destroyed my family and I wasn't ready. He showed up with her at my house and said, I have something for you. I mustered up the energy to get out of bed and walk outside to this girl. I don't think I made a great impression, but I did tell him I wasn't ready to meet her just yet. I feel bad because I wasn't mean, but I wasn't my normal self with her either. The last one, I braided her hair for work in my home while she was cheating with my husband. I curled her hair for her college graduation and went and took pictures and told her I was proud of her while she was coming to my house when I worked to sleep with my husband. She even tried to get a DVP placed on me in court, but was denied because I haven't done anything to her. So I'm not ready to allow someone else in right now after the betrayal I just went through. User Tennessee Dom62 said, there are no winners in a divorce. All parties lose something. OP said the following to this comment, this definitely didn't feel like a win. I have lost so much of myself, my family, and my sanity. I thought that I would at least feel better because every day being married and him living with her felt like disrespect. I kept telling myself when it's all done, at least you can feel like you got your dignity back. That my husband isn't shacked up with someone that would have been 6 years old when we started our journey. That disrespect was replaced by an overwhelming feeling of sadness and anxiety I didn't expect. The feelings of all the hardships we had made it through in life that I thought one day would pass have passed, but not in the way I expected them to. I thought my entire 20 years of we got through this, we can get through anything, to be taken out by a 26-year-old. Everything I worked so hard to accomplish just got pulled out from under me by what I consider a child. User Formal Start said, if it means anything, you have the two things that your ex-husband will never have again, the love and respect of your children. Now, your daughter may be upset for now, but don't worry. Give it time and just know your son still loves you and you love him. He will support you in every way he can. As for those two pieces of crap, as in your ex-husband and his new girlfriend, that moment of happiness and victory is temporary, and given time, it'll crash and burn eventually. It'll get better for you. Just live your best life for you and your children.